very far away in space and time and fantasy. Well, really, it's just in some guy's head. These are the dark diaries of the incredible divine Dictator King, Aaronanthony VII. Join us as we delve into the mind of the cruelest Dark Lord ever to walk the lands of Aaronopolis. A completely real world he didn't just make up. Beware, these tales are not for the faint of heart. Listen if you dare.
March 35th, 1995.
Dear Diary, good afternoon. It is I, the incredible divine king dictator Aaronanthony VII, ruler of everything alive, everywhere, always, forever. Today, I went on a horse ride. It was very nice. On the gallop, I chased down an Eastern rebel with ultimate death. When I hit his face with ultimate death, his bones splattered all over the trees and grass and dirt and the flowers and rocks. I make art in nature. When ultimate death was given to me, my father says, crush skulls with ultimate death and make art in nature with the blood and bones and cartilage and veins and guts and hair. So I do that now. The sound ultimate death makes on the rebel faces is most beautiful sonnet I have heard since I had a lady singer from across S.L.C sing for me. She pleased Aaronanthony VII very well that night, and wife 14 and 13 and 39. Wife number 15 tried to kill herself again.
Wizard audition went really well. I ended up with 2 wizards, Sterverner, who is great wizard, and Montydale, because he looks like a girl.
Tomorrow I make out for North. Captain Roughface tells me that the group of rebels have burnt my new ship to the ground. That is not good. I had it built just a week ago. I had ordered it to be very beautiful. The ship would have been the first in my armada to set sail across the Salt Sea to destroy the peoples of the Far East who sit in peacefully across the ocean. How dare they not bow down to their great ruler? Second wizard, Montydale, says some of them have not heard of Aaronanthony the Divine and are simple folk. I do not like him. The Eastern savages must be taught a lesson only Aaronanthony can teach, so I will set sail and teach them this life-altering lesson. But first, this northern riff-raff must be halted and put an end to ship burning. I will do the burning. Aaronanthony knows not why North revolts. He makes very safe genocide, all completely fine invasion, and Northerners don't even bow in greatness of Aaronanthony VII, incredibly divine dictator of all. I blame myself. I have been too busy with Eastern wife 39. She has taken a love of Newcastle device called wireless broadcast and has made sadistic competitions for Aaronanthony to watch. I have Sterverner spell her. I have him take part of my blood and soul and mix it in with a tonic for her to drink. Now she is more like Aaronanthony. Divine dictator longs for better companionship in wives, not ones that are always trying to run away or commit suicide. So I use magic to make 39 stop crying, and we untied the noose and forced her to drink, and she has much vigor. I may have her travel up north but I fear she would miss Depravity Castle very much. The Western peoples have increased production of gold. They report people are throwing themselves under falling boulders in love of their incredible ruler of all, everywhere, alive, always. Lucky for Aaronanthony, he has thousands of slaves, plenty of goods from south, east, and west, but only revolt from north. Deaths have decreased in mines. Monty Dale says this is good, and Sterverner says Divine Dictator knows best and is but a humble and wise king. I like Sterverner. I will use the gems from the mines to make an incredibly wonderful and beautiful carriage to take me up north in very graceful style. I am God after all. It will be the best carriage ever built, and I will do many vile acts inside of it and fill it with the many tonics Aaronanthony intakes day to day to stay great ruler. Aaronanthony is very healthy. Apparently, North is unhappy with the deforestation. One would think the northern people would understand the need to fell forests to build the ships, but they know not. They have not heard the voice of Aaronanthony VII in the live human touch, nor have they looked upon his beauteous majesty. They are not as lucky as central peoples. So I will travel up north and show them. I wish I had a dragon to fly on, but let's just all agree that dragons are overplayed at this point, and Season 8 was not as bad as people complained about. Lizards are better anyway. I wish I could take the lizards up north, but biologist Slave tells me that lizards are cold-blooded creatures and wouldn't survive in the frigid north. I said, I know that. Lizards are my favorite. I need new slave biologist. So I will leave the lizards in care of the master slave lizard training guy, who I just appointed about 8 minutes after I need new slave biologist. Good things there are so many slaves, huh? Now Derek can still have eyeballs. I must drink tonic before I begin my long night. 39 has arranged activities in the Depravity Castle for going away party. She advises me to bring rope and an eye mask and 2 women who specifically work at a stable.
The depravity unfurls itself with every entry. The next entry might just drive you over the edge. Beware! If you dare, join us for the next one. It's coming right now.
April 6th, 1995.
Dearest Diary, I am writing to you from the road. It is I, incredibly divine Dictator King Aaronanthony VII, ruler of everything ever alive, always. I am riding in my fancy carriage slaves finished building many days ago. I call the pretty carriage Slayer. Gold adorns it, and silver, and the diamonds, and the rubies, and sapphires, and other gems that are pretty neat.
I had them make it look kind of like a lizard. Pretty neat, huh?
39 says I should enjoy things that are more dark and evil and brutal and heavy metal. I know not what she means. Gold is very heavy metal, silver is not light, and if it was dark, no one would see it. I will find much happiness and joy when the armies of the northern scum are destroyed. With all the heavy metal used to build Slayer, it is very heavy indeed. It takes 5 horses to pull its weight. I have appointed 27 guards to travel in close quarters to Slayer, in case any fools attempt to get close to divine Dictator King and his wives. I brought 39 and 12. 15 tried to run away yesterday, so she is now in the wife dungeon with 1, 4, 7, 6, 11. I have hired best driver in all Aaronopolis, Ross, to be Slayer's driver. Aaronanthony will sit inside Fancy Slayer with 39 and 12 and feast on buttered smoked salmon. I have chef prepared it this morning, and we eat it in the day and in the night. 39 likes her salad tossed, so chef and I are teaching her, and last night she tossed my fruit salad. It was desirable. The fruit in the north is very sought after in my kingdom. The butter used in the smoked salmon was churned by slaves who hate churning butter. I could taste that fact with every bite. I shot a man today with an arrow, and it went right through his head and he died. I will send his eyeballs to Derek. He will be most pleased. Lizard slave trainer guy says he is running out of eyeballs. I jested to him that we just use his, and he pleaded that he needed his eyes to train lizards. Wizard Sterverner says incredibly divine dictator knows best. I like Sterverner. He made me jar. When throw it makes grand explosion. He calls it Gur-anade. I have thrown 2 grenades into the home of stupid peasants. I told the peasant man their crops need to feed the 3,000 soldiers marching to destroy northern sea salt dogs. They say I have already taken my tax and have only enough to feed his family. So I get rid of problem and no more family. I will leave trusted farmer slave to run farm. I give slave freedom paper, but it is hard not to call him slave. I usually call everyone slave. I am, after all, divine ruler, dictator, king, so I am master of all, no matter slave on paper or slave under majesty. Freed slave, Matt Tom, will run farm well, or I will have new squire, Tom Matt, his son, fed to my lizards. Tom Matt now does my bidding, and the bidding of 39. She has him lick her toes after she walks over horse dung. I did not teach her that, or did I? Spells are tricky. Sometimes it is a curse, sometimes it is good, and you get all the things you desire. I am not sure if the spell cast upon 39 is working good or bad. It is not exactly how I planned it, but things hardly ever go just the way you planned it, and Aaronanthony is no complainer. Slave workers are not working hard enough. I hate that. Always with the I am tired and my foot has fallen off due to frostbite. What did Aaronanthony VI, my father, do when his leg was cut off in battle? He had slave wizard replace leg with new best leg of all. They call it pro-static. If I ever have limb cut off due to intense battling, I will have slave wizard Sterverner give me pro-static blade limb. That way, I could use my arm to cut many things like bread, potatoes, chicken, carrots, leather, presents that are wrapped in a pretty bow and given to you as a gift from a loved one. Oh, and murdering people. Those are a few of my desirable things. There have been no more ship fires, probably since I ordered all to rendezvous with our army so we can destroy North. So, ship construction has halted until the battle is won, and I have bathed in the blood of my enemies from the north. I have expert bath builder in caravan, and he says he will do as commands and asks for word on his sister. I am not sure what he talks of. Aaronanthony has too many problems of his own to deal with to remember one tiny shipbuilder's sister. I mean, have courtesy, guy. It's not like others suffer because of my shortcomings. Gosh. We should reach the armies of the north in a fortnight, and we will crush them into human grist. I will have 39 in bloodbath with me. Yesterday, she used the blood of dead slave to brush her teeth. I do not think I told her to do so, but it did entertain me much. Then I watched as she practiced her juggling with slave body parts. She is very good. Aaronanthony taught her himself, and he is very good juggler. He took state in high school and everything. 39 was a red hue after she was done. Scouts tell me the Northern Army has a defensive 40 leagues away. They say the entirety of the North and the sea salt dogs have come to defend the land to their dying breath and have mustered an army of 1,500. I ask, why so few? For we bring army of 3,000. Scouts say the brutality of Aaronanthony has never been seen since the time of the Titans, and few now live to tell the tale. Soon there will be less peoples of the north, and we can resume shipbuilding. I hope we find more fruit trees on the last leg of our journey.
If you've braved the tale thus far, then please hear these messages from this week's sponsors.
Sometimes when Aaronanthony listens to music, he also likes to have bees around, and he will sit next to the comb and look at the bees doing their busy work, making beautiful sonnets, making beautiful hives. It is very beautiful to watch them all come together and work as a unison and get beautiful things off the ground. Go to the Hive Mind Collective S.L.C.com.
And now we return to the dark diaries of Aaronanthony VII, divine ruler of all.
April 20th, 1995.
My dear diary, today was best day. I had great opportunity in the north. I was able to see much of the field where the battle was. I was filled with joy as the dead bodies of the Salt North dogs were just everywhere. I could not take 3 steps without walking over a dead body. Many perished on both sides. Every single northern soldier was killed, and many of mine as well. Over 2,000 dead. Good thing I brought twice as many men, huh? The bards shall sing of my glorious victory. I will write the song for them myself. Songs of how I led the battle myself with ultimate death, clobbering my foes into the earth with the mighty warhammer. Victory, they will cry. None will know that I truly spent the battle in fancy carriage slayer with wife 39, 12, and a farmer's goat. Victory, they will yell. History is only what is written down. I know this because I write this. Father Aaronanthony VI, divine king dictator of everyone, told me that I could write my own history. I remember it like it was 7 years ago, 14 days, 13 hours, and 2 minutes. Forgive me for not remembering the seconds. Son Aaronanthony VII, he says to me, it will be written in, and henceforth be known that I, Aaronanthony VI, am best ruler king of divine prowess, and I shall write it myself, for the people are sheep, and know not fiction from reality. My father would often describe the people as sheep, and he as the shepherd, but my father was shepherded no sheep. He was a great carpenter, though. He built very nice chairs and tables and ottomans and nightstands and doll houses for girl children. I did not play in adorable doll houses, though, just tough boy stuff, not pretty doll houses that would played really good for Aaronanthony. When I arrive at home in Central, people will shout in happiness with our victorious deeds. I have word from Steward Dan Larry that the people in Central have never been happier. Sales are up in brothels and taverns. There have been significantly less suicides and acts of vandalism since my expedition to the north. The people are so happy that their divine ruler, dictator, king, incredibleness has all the land of Aeronopolis as kingdom. I will write them song. Oh, happy people, oh, central people celebration. Divine king saves the day. We are so lucky. Sterverner says, I fucking love it. I often impress myself with my own lyrics. If anyone in the future time reads this, they will certainly hold it in high regards. Wife 39 has taken up scalping. I have given her a new knife and she has trained with Master Scalper and has become good. I send her with Captain Roughface for prisoners and she scalps them. Yesterday, I witnessed her burn the head of her scalped prisoner. The alone time in Fancy Carriage Slayer was very pleasurable, but I sure do miss Depravity Castle. I am glad Sterverner set up wireless broadcast for use on Magic Mirror so I can watch as lewd acts continue at home. I have Captain Smoothface make them do list I have prepared. It is a long list. 39 helped. She has really come into her spell. I asked Sterverner, the wizard, if spell was still working, and he said, it has transformed her into a dark beast in which will eat away at her soul. She is a cursed woman. I will spell more wives. Now that I have destroyed the armies of the north and the salty dead bodies of the mercenaries of the east, I will resume construction of Grand Armada. The ships will sail across the sea, and eastern savages will learn of the divine king dictator of everyone, all alive, everywhere, ever, Aaronanthony VII. Sterverner says, it will take 5 years to build the kind of fleet I am requesting. He says the cold will certainly kill many workers once winter truly sets in, so I have ordered more coats. Aaronanthony has dream coat made of many colors. I had slave tailor Joseph Osmond craft it. He also sings, and will make him Bard Taylor. I must find new cobbler. Last cobbler died from hypothermia. Why do slaves not wear coats? I I have Sterverner give me tonics for cold. It is very helpful, just as the tonic for staying awake, tonic for going to sleep, tonic to make sex, tonic to fight like Titan. Sterverner, great alchemist. Divine ruler, very healthy. I have Sterverner give me tonics to stay awake and alert like Kakadu all day long. Sterverner says, do not worry about the sores. He gives me cream to make sores go away. Just rub them down below twice a day with cream and sores will go away. But they will come back. They always come back. 39 has sores too. She calls them dictator sores. The color in her eyes is beginning to fade. Sterverner advises to stay away from savages. He claims they are filled with systolist, whatever that is. I have many slaves to gather fruit, to toss salads of fruit. Slaves are lucky I give them coats and shoes I have. Fruit tossing is very important, and avocados do not grow in the north. You can find them in the south, where my brandy is distilled. There are many fruits in the north. There are berries and cordials and there are pears, all great things. I must take advantage of all of the opportunities of the north. I do so everywhere I conquer. Crops from east, cattle from west, wood and fruit from north. South also has fruits like grapes and avocados. It is where I make my wine and brandy. I have master-slave distiller. I once tried to make brandy, and when I say I made slave do it. Slave died when kettle exploded, so I hire alchemist Ethan Old to make all brandy and wine. Apothecarist says my excessive wine consumption will cause me to have ulcers. I know not what is an ulcer. Is it where you get milk from cows? I am pleased with all of the dead. Over 1,000 northern sea salt dogs are dead. I have appointed slaves to prepare shipment of eyes to be sent to Derek. He has eaten all the remaining eyes, and slave trainer guy now wears an eye patch. Once all the eyes have been prepared for transport, Sterverner says we must clean up the dead bodies. We will prepare mass grave for fallen Central fighters, but pile up remaining 1,000 dead from north into giant pile. I will then soak pile in all the kerosene and burn the bodies of the northern sea salt dog savages. It will be the biggest fire the north will ever see, and it will fill the air with wonderful dead body aroma. Aaronanthony always knows best. After cleanup is complete, I will take tour of northern cold lands with 39 and Captain Roughface. 12 must stay in Fancy Carriage Slayer. She does not get to leave Slayer. We will also take best slave herbalist and mark trees best for cutting. I think all trees will be best for ships. I must get ready for bloodbath in the pretty bath the slave made for me. I last saw him crying. When I demanded him to stop, he said his sister killed herself in the wife dungeon and he would rather die than live under a horrible tyrant. So I used ultimate death and granted his wish, like the kind Dictator King divineness that I am. Though I know not what he speaks of, only bad wives get sent to wife dungeon, not bathmakers' sisters. Wife number 7 has killed herself. I hope there are rose petals in the bloodbath.
I highly doubt this man's father was a shepherd or a carpenter. Let's hear one last entry of lies and evil.
April 34th, 1995.
Dear Diary, project continue building ships again now that the North is dealt with has begun. That is good. Large pile of bodies is still burning a month later. I know not why. I poured kerosene on it, yes, but Sterverner says the flames should only have lasted into the morning. It does not grow bigger, nor does it grow smaller. Sometimes it changes colors and makes demon noises. Slaves rumor that the dark spirits have ascended from the fire each night. Second wizard, Monty Dale, says we are all cursed and I have unleashed the evil spirits from below, and I am something called the Anti-Chris. I know not who is Chris. I do not like his tone, so I added him to the fire. Wizard Sterverner says Divine Dictator is wise and knows best. I like Sterverner. The first ship I will name after my favorite wife. So, first ship will don the name 39. I will build more than 39 ships. I will also take on more than 39 wives. I think I will build 666 ships to sail across the sea. There are many trees up north. 39 says she wishes to have sub-slave. So I says to her, 39, we already have thousands of slaves, but she wants to find a new wife sub-slave. So I send her with Captain Roughface to find new wife in northern villages. They are sparse. I trust her judgment. I had Sterverner put in the spell to have her desire people sexually that I also desire in sexual manner. Sterverner whispers, I don't know how much more of this her body can take. He thinks I do not hear, but I hear. I might also agree. It is good that I have everlasting fire, so shipbuilding can proceed into the night. When I tell slaves they must work into the night under demon flame, many moan in excitement, and several cried in joy. They cry in joy. I tell them to be careful and to give less sacrifices to Divine Dictator King of Incredibleness. A good 1,500 slaves sacrificed themselves during the battle of the Northern Sea Salt Dog fight. And I cannot spare slaves from the mines. There is still so much treasure to be found. This means I have less slaves to build my glorious armada. Sterverner suggested giving them time to rest, so your incredibleness gave them whole day to rest and heal wounds. I am very compassionate and very caring. The felling of the trees has begun, and slaves are rested for at least a day. I was extra loving and let slaves eat people food and even let them drink wine, but not brandy. That is only for noble peoples. I might be kind, but I am not so foolish to give slaves brandy. New shipments of coats have arrived. I have sent slave spy guy to make trek across Salt Sea in private gully. The North Sea salt prisoners kept saying, I will never tell you the whereabouts of my kin, and I would rather die. I meant to have Sterverner torture them, but the prison was set ablaze and all died. Must have been random accident. The prison fire was out in a few hours, but the pile of dead bodies still burns on. Even after day-long rainstorm, it burns and demons wane. Now that dead bodies have been piled together and deforestation has resumed, I have shipbuilding field. Slaves say the salt sea is 10 miles east. Why don't we build them at the shore? How are we ever going to transport them? I said, you slaves are smart, figure it out. Second wizard, Montidale, said, beware the woe of Easter Island. But it doesn't matter what he said because he is dead now, and I know nothing of Easter Bunny Island. But I will sail to the east with new ships led by flagship 39. First they complained about the dark, then complained about demons, now complain about miles. They complained about cold, now they say it is too hot and hell has risen and the north is cursed. That is not how I will write it. And who are scholars going to believe? Obviously. It is well known that my intelligence level is very high ranking about the smart ones.
These sick and twisted diary entries are a production of the Hive Mind Collective S.L.C. Sound engineer, portrait artist, and handsome narrator by Casey Jackson. Writer, director, video producer, sketch artist, and voice of Aaronanthony is Scott Millett. Go to the HiveMindCollectiveSLC.com.
Incredibly divine, ruler of my heart. Incredibly divine, ruler of your dreams. Incredibly divine, ruler of everyone. Incredibly divine, ruler so handsome. Aaronanthony is very brave. He would never go and hide in his bunker when his citizens were at his doorstep begging for change, crying out loud that his lands need reform, that perhaps his law enforcement has gone a step too far, one too many, 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 many times.
The Dark Diaries of Aaronanthony VII is a production of the Hive Mind Collective, S.L.C.